There are 5 stages involved in getting a funding form approved for a student event. Stage 1 is when the request is put in by the student. Stage 2 will be your club advisors for SGA clubs, or the treasurer in the case of SAPB and Greek Senate, which are considered annually budgeted and do not attend allocations meetings. Stage 3 will be completed when you meet with campus activities. Stage 4 is the VP of allocations, and it will be moved once your funding request is passed at the allocations meeting. Stage 5 is the SGA financial manager, Jamie Oyola. At this point, PO numbers will be assigned so that you can confirm your reservations and order your items. If you need to use the SGA credit card to order supplies for your event, you would need your PO in order to take it out. You get a 2-hour time limit when taking out the SGA credit card, and it can be taken out until 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. It is not available on the weekend or evenings. The SGA card can be picked up from either Tamara Hall or Jamie Oyola in the SGA main office. Here you will find the funding timelines for SGA. When planning events on campus, please make sure you are keeping these timelines in mind, because missing your timeline can mean that your event would not be able to happen. If you are requesting up to $1,500 in funding for your event, you would need to be heard in an allocation meeting at least 2 weeks prior to your event. In order to get approved to go to an allocations meeting, you must have your funding request and event form submitted and moved to Stage 3 by the Office of Campus Activities no later than the Thursday prior to the allocations meeting you are looking to attend. The 3-week timeline for funding is for requests from $1,500.01 up to $6,000. Again, this would need to be submitted and approved by CASEL the week prior. All forms must be approved by advisors before coming to meet with CASEL. This is what is considered Stage 2. The third level of funding is from $6,000.01 to $20,000. For this level of funding, you would need to have your request heard at an allocations meeting no less than 5 weeks prior to your event, approved by campus activities a week prior to that, and you would also need to attend an SGA Senate meeting to have it approved once your event has passed at allocations. The final level is for events over $20,000. For this level, you would need to be heard at allocations 8 weeks prior to your event, approved by campus activities a week prior to that, and you would also need to be heard at an SGA Senate meeting to have it approved once allocations has passed your event. Please make sure that you are paying attention to your timelines, as missing them is the biggest reason events get canceled. All due dates will be given to you when your room reservation is approved by CASEL. But please keep in mind that we usually assign a 3-week timeline if we are unsure of what your total event cost would be. If you know that your event will cost more than $6,000, then keep in mind that you will need more time. The SGA Allocations Committee meets on Tuesdays at 12:30 p.m. in UC 216. The SGA Vice President for Allocations will reach out to you and let you know that you are set to attend an allocations meeting once you are on Stage 3. On this slide, it shows a quick overview of what the funding form looks like. The first 10 questions on this form will ask for the basics of your event. When is it? Where is it? Who is in charge? How much will tickets be if there are tickets being sold, etc. The next set of questions, questions 11 through 49, will be for vendors who are in our drop-down menu. If you do not see the vendor you are using in this section, please wait till farther down where there are boxes you can type in to add your vendor. The drop-down menu has some frequently used vendors both on and off campus. Make sure you fill out all the details. How much are you paying for the vendor? What are you getting, and how will they be paid, either by SGA check or SGA credit card? You must get an invoice from your vendor, and there will be a place that you can add it in this section as well. The third set of questions, questions 50 through 74, are where you can add vendors who are not found in the drop-down menu. Please make sure you add all information for your vendor: name of person or company, mailing address, email address, and phone number. You will also need to have an invoice for your vendor and upload it here. The final set of questions on this form, questions P1 through 30, are our pre-contracts for our vendors. You would need to fill out one for each specific performer. If you are having more than 3 performers who need pre-contracts, please use a second form. You do not need a pre-contract for any on-campus vendors or stores that you will be shopping at. For example, Amazon, Party City, and Target do not need pre-contracts. In order to access the funding form, you will need to make sure that you are signed in to Pioneer Life. Once you are signed in, you will click on the icon for your organization on the left-hand side, and a menu will pop up. To create a funding form, you will click on the Finance tab in this menu. Once you click on the Finance button in the menu, it will bring you to the page where you can manage your funding requests. On this landing page, it will show you all of the funding requests that have been submitted by your organization. Please note that while you can look at any of the funding requests that your organization has submitted, you will not be able to edit them. If you need to make edits, you will need to meet with a CASEL staff member to make those edits. In order to create a new funding request, you will click on the blue button on the top right-hand part of the page. This will take you to the Event Request page. On this page, you will see a screenshot of what the first section of the funding form looks like. Please note that some areas are required for you to fill out and others might not be necessary. You may find that a good portion of this form is blank, and that is fine if you are only using a few vendors. Only fill out what is relevant to your event. This screenshot shows you what our vendor drop-down menu looks like. Please fill out any relevant information for this section. For the lines that say, for office use, do not fill anything out there, as that will be filled out by Jamie once your funding is approved by allocations. This screenshot shows you what the fill-in menu for vendors looks like. Please make sure you include all the necessary information for each vendor you need to add in this section. This would include the name of the vendor or performer, mailing address, email address, and phone number. For a vendor like Amazon, you can add the web address if you would like. Again, do not fill anything out in the boxes that say for office use. This slide shows you what the pre-contract section looks like. The only vendors you would not need to fill this section out for are campus vendors, and stores or websites that you are ordering supplies from. Please make sure you fill out all of the information for each vendor. This is how a contract is created for your vendor and how they will get paid. No vendor will be paid if the contract is not signed by them and returned to us. The check will be held at SGA until the contract is completed. Once you have completed the funding form and hit submit, you will have successfully completed your funding request. At this point, it is your responsibility to reach out to the Office of Campus Activities to meet with a staff member and get your request moved to Stage 3 in time for your allocations meeting. On this slide, you will see QR codes that will direct you to a few more resources you may need when planning your events. These links include the CASEL Policies and Procedures, Advisor Resources, the link to the Pioneer Life portal, and the link to 25 Live, where you will book all spaces on campus. This completes your Leadership Academy training. If you have any questions regarding this training once you have completed it, please feel free to reach out to the Office of Campus Activities, Service and Leadership. You can do this by emailing us at campusactivities@wpunj.edu.